is Monica and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to sew this vest that I'm wearing today. And the cool thing about this piece is that it's kind of like a 2-for-1 because you can wear it tied up in the front like I have it now. And I've been noticing that is a super popular trend lately. And you can also wear it untied, just hanging loosely as a nice little flowy vest. So you kind of get 2 accessories for one sewing tutorial. So I really hope y'all like this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. And what are we waiting for? Let's go ahead and get sewing. To make this vest, you'll need about a yard of a stretchy knit fabric, which is what makes it so easy to tie up in front. Plus you'll need a tank top to use as a template. Decide how long you want the back of your vest to be and fold the bottom edge of your tank top up to this point. I wanted mine to be slightly more cropped than my tank top. Then fold it in half down the center, and this will be the pattern we'll use to create our vest. Fold a portion of your fabric over large enough to fit your tank top, and make sure that the fabric stretches in the direction I have the arrows going. Lay your tank top down so that the center fold of the tank top lines up with the fold of your fabric, and pin it into place. Begin cutting by following the shape of the back neckline of your tank top, cutting a 1/2 inch larger to allow room for seams and hems. Continue cutting with that 1/2 inch extra along the shoulder and armhole, and then cut about 1 inch wider on the side because you'll want that little bit of extra room since you'll be layering it over other pieces of clothing. Finally, you'll want to cut about a 1/2 inch lower than the bottom edge. When you remove the tank top and unfold your fabric, you'll have a shape that looks like this, which will be the back of your vest. To create the front vest pieces, lay your back vest piece onto your fabric, making sure that the fabric will stretch this way. Pin the vest piece down only along one shoulder, one armhole, and one side. Begin cutting along the side of the vest and continue along the armhole and shoulder, but make sure to stop cutting when you finish cutting along the shoulder, because in order to create that draped front of the vest, you'll need to cut a diagonal line going from the shoulder to the opposite bottom edge of the vest. To do this, fold back the fabric of the vest piece along this diagonal line and then cut down this path. Finally, cut along the bottom edge of the vest, and when you remove the back vest piece, you'll have a shape that looks like this, which will be one of your front vest pieces. Lay your fabric back out with the correct side of the fabric facing up, and then lay the piece you just cut out down, but make sure to place it with the correct side of the fabric facing downward. And this is important so that when you use it as a guide to cut out a second front vest piece, you'll have a left side and a right side. Lay one of your front vest pieces down on top of your back vest piece so that the correct sides of the fabrics are facing together, and then pin and sew along the shoulder and side with a 1/2 inch seam allowance to join them, always backstitching at the beginning and end of your seams. Since we're using a stretch fabric, sew with a ballpoint needle and use either a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch so that the seams will stretch when you stretch the fabric, which you can see here. Once you're done sewing, move that diagonal edge out of the way so you don't accidentally sew it in the other seam, then lay the other front piece down so that the correct sides of the fabrics are facing together, and again pin and sew along the shoulder and side to secure the pieces together. Now we need to hem the whole front opening of the vest from one diagonal edge around the back of the neck and down the other diagonal edge. So to do this, open up and go to the bottom of one of the diagonal edges and make sure the fabric is facing wrong side up. Fold over the raw edge of the fabric toward the wrong side of the vest about a 1/4 inch once, then fold it over again another 1/4 inch so you've trapped the raw edge inside, and pin it down. Continue double folding and pinning along that front diagonal edge, and I've zoomed the camera back out here so you can see the whole vest. Once you get to the seam at the shoulder, open up and flatten out the seam allowance before folding and pinning so that it lays flat. Keep double folding and pinning the hem along the neckline, around the other shoulder, and down along the opposite diagonal edge until you've got the entire front opening pinned down. Sew to secure the hem, and because we're using stretch fabric, I do suggest using a stretch or zigzag stitch for this also, so that the hems can stretch and so that they're durable when you're stretching and tying the vest around you. I chose a more decorative looking stretch stitch that looked really great on the fabric. To hem the armholes, turn the vest inside out and repeat the process of double folding a 1/4 inch at a time and pinning, but make sure to pin frequently since you're going around curves. Once both armholes are completely pinned, sew them with the same stitch you used for the previous hem, and since you're sewing around curves, take your time as you sew. Your final step is to hem the bottom edge of the vest, but since you're working on a diagonal corner, when you begin double folding at that edge, you'll notice that the fabric sticks out funny, so you'll need to trim that corner inward just a bit so that when you fold it again, it no longer sticks out. Then when you get to the opposite side, trim that corner as well, and finally sew to secure the hem, and that's all it takes to make this cute, easy to sew, and versatile accessory. Thank y'all for watching and happy sewing! Whoa. This piece, noticing beautiful man.